Growing up in Ohio doesn't seem like the most exciting childhood in the world. People just view Ohio as some big cornfield, maybe even soybeans. But outsiders usually miss one thing about Ohio, and that is Ohio is the roller coaster capital of the world. Growing up, only living 10 minutes from an amusement park, it got me totally fascinated with roller coasters. Ever since my dad dragged my crying 6-year-old self on a wooden roller coaster, I was hooked. And growing up as an artistic child, I was always inspired to draw the things like around me. So one day in the study hall freshman year of high school, I had the idea to combine my two loves of art and roller coaster, and I did a little sketch of a character. And today I'm going to show you my process of how to personify a roller coaster. Now, first off, we have to pick a roller coaster to turn into a character. And today I'm going to be showing you Orion, which is from my home park, Kings Island, and it just opened last year. Before I like to get into any sketching, I like to take a closer look to the roller coaster. Orion's general theme is that there's a deadly meteor about to strike the Earth, and the only way for humanity to stop it is to board the coaster and go on an adventure into space. It's a pretty loose theme, but, at least there is one. Here, I like to look into a little more of the details of the coaster, like the color palette. Here, we see that the coaster mostly consists of blues with a hint of orange. The name of Orion is a homage to the Orion constellation in space. The coaster lights up neon blue at night, and finally, we look at the manufacturer, which is B&M, which they are known for their sleek-looking track and coasters. Finally, we start sketching. I like to do a couple of quick headshots just to get a feel of what I want, see what works and what doesn't. From the two I showed here, I definitely like the one on the right a lot better. And that's what I bring into the next step, which is the full body sketch. Now, this is a very rough sketch, but I like to get an idea of what kind of look I want this character to have. Now, generally, I like my characters to look pretty casual, that you can just see them walk across the street and you wouldn't bat an eye. So I don't want him to be like decked out in astronaut tech, but I definitely want him to have that space vibe. For the fashion, since Orion was built in 2020, I wanted him to look very Gen Z and wearing that very 1980s flair kind of fashion, because the 80s is definitely trending, especially last year in 2020. I gave him a windbreaker that kind of has that astronaut feel to it, but it also replicates the V pattern on the coaster train. As for a personality, the idea I just want him to be a very chill dude, and pun intended, he spaces out, and he's just a nice chill guy. Finally, we have the finished character, where I put all the little details in. I added a little Saturn pop socket to his phone to add on to that space theme. He has light up sneakers for the neon lights when the coaster lights up neon blue at night. And for the color palette, I made the top of his windbreaker that blue color of the track, while the bottom base has the white of the coaster supports. Plus, I added that little orange and cyan from the coaster trains and the V-shaped pattern of his jacket. His pants, I just made a dark gray to have a resting spot for the eyes, but also to pay homage to that dark gray and black in the logo. And finally, I added some bright luminescent freckles to represent the stars, as it is themed after the Orion constellation. After discovering this, personifying roller coasters quickly became one of my new favorite hobbies. It allowed me to explore my art and to practice my character design. And for me personally, my art skyrocketed in improvement just because I found something I love to do and I practiced it every day. And I just think it's great to combine the things you love to create something new. Even if those two things seem completely unrelated, like art and roller coasters. Don't worry if it's going to be popular. It might lead you to some awesome people with the same interests as you. Like, up until a few years ago, I had no idea there were other people like me who love art and roller coasters and even personify them. And it just allowed me to meet these incredible people. So that was my walkthrough of how I personify roller coasters, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now go do what you love.